ऐसा बोला जाता है कि भाई बात करोगे तो बात बनेगी एंड द टॉपिक ऑफ टुडेज डिस्कशन इज सिमिलर टू दैट. इट इज़ बिकॉज वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट importance of business communication in an organization. So before we proceed to discuss about the importance of business communication for an organization, let us discuss about what is meant by business communication. Communication means basically it's an exchange of thoughts and ideas that we have discussed. But business communication means what? Any communication that takes place within an organization, within a company, within an institution, which is related to institution, related to organization. It may be between the employer and the employee. It may be between the supervisors, two supervisors. It may be between supervisor and the worker. It may be between the canteen wala and the workers. It may be related to work, it may be about emails, it may be face-to-face communication. So any interaction that takes place within an organization which is about the organization, it is regarded as business communication. It may be within the organization or with the outside world. Outside world, what I mean by that, in outside you have customers, consumers, suppliers, government authorities, and any organization has to talk with them, maybe face to face, maybe the negotiation, maybe via mail, maybe via WhatsApp messages, maybe via video conferencing, maybe via black and white letters. So everything which is related to that organization, that business, it may be manufacturing unit, it may be any service provider. So anything related to the work which is available in that particular organization within the employees or with the outside world, it is considered as business communication. And remember, business communication is the lifeblood or a building block of any organization, without which that organization may not succeed. The way there is a function of blood in our body, similarly there is a function of communication, business communication, in any organization. So let us discuss about why it is so important for any organization. Number one, any organization, there are some set goals. So in order to set a goal, the employees, employers, managing committee members, executive members, government authorities, customers, consumers, industrialists, they all need to sit together to set a goal. After that setting the goal, I mean, in order to set the goal, there has to be discussions after discussions, because whatever is feasible, whatever is attainable, that goal can be set. If any goal that is set which is not achievable, obviously the organization will fail. So in order to first of all set a goal, there has to be the discussion, there has to be communication, and due to this involvement of every employee, every person who is a stakeholder of that particular organization, everybody feels that it is my decision, because of everybody's contribution in that discussion, everybody got a role to play, and everybody has got an opinion, and everybody's opinion has taken into consideration. And that's why it is very important to discuss, to communicate. This is how the first function of communication, which is very important, is that in order to set a goal, after goal setting, how to achieve that goal, there has to be planning. And in order to plan the things, there has to be discussion, there has to be communication. And if proper communication is there, everybody's opinion is taken into consideration for the planning, everybody feels that I owe this decision, I have decided this, and everybody feels that this is my decision, this is my planning, and let me work for it. So unanimously everybody works. That is the function of business communication. If everybody's opinion is taken into consideration, everybody is invited to discuss the things, they will definitely try and contribute their best. By this, that plan will be executed properly, and the goal that was set may be achieved easily. After planning, there are some decisions to make. Decisions about setting a new franchise, decisions about hiring new employees, decision about launching new product. So everything needs discussion, everything needs communication. The superiors, they cannot take the random decision because something came to their mind and they just tell the people or the employees to execute it. It's not like that. They have to take the permissions, they have to take the opinions of the employees, the core workers, the bottom line workers. If everybody agrees, then obviously that decision sails through smoothly. Otherwise, there are some conflicts, there are some contradictions, and the performance may not be effective. And that's why it is very important that in order to decide something, and when they have to decide something. For example, there is one organization, they have to launch a new product and they have to hire an ambassador to launch that new product. It may be Amitabh Bachchan or it may be any other actor or actress that you want to decide. In order to take the decision, if the executive committee members, the CEOs and the MDs, or maybe the HR people, or maybe the marketing heads, if they are called and if their suggestions are taken into consideration, the best person will come out according to the budget, according to the time, according to the publicity, according to the aura of that personality. It may be actor or it may be a sport player. Based on the discussion, the decision will be taken. And when the decision is taken, so many good alternatives are put forward and the best alternative is taken into consideration, so that that best alternative is used for the decision. For this also you need discussion, you need communication. The next point is that when discussion after discussion takes place from the higher level to the bottom level and the middle level, all these line workers, they feel that yes, my opinion is also taken into consideration. And let me tell you, the people who actually work on the job, work on the field, they can contribute more in order to take any decision or in order to plan something or in order to set another goal. It is because they have actually faced the problem, maybe the market, maybe the clients, maybe the demands of the customers and the consumers. They have already experienced what problems occur, what problems are there in their particular product or maybe manufacturing unit. So if the bottom line people, their opinion is taken into consideration and they are asked, they are invited to discuss, obviously they own that decision and they strive to prove that decision to be correct. And that's why it is very important to have a discussion, communication. And if everybody's opinion is taken into consideration, everybody strives to achieve the set goal. Another problem is that any unit, any company totally depends over the customers and the consumers. So what exactly the customers demand, what are their expectations, what is the changing trend, the company has to ask the outside world. And in order to ask, there has to be communication. There has to be a common platform wherein the customers, consumers, and the employee or the employer, they have to come on the common platform, maybe via video conferencing, maybe in the market face-to-face interview, maybe via questionnaire. Anywhere, the customers and the consumers' feedback has to be taken into consideration. And to get that feedback about the product, about the service, there has to be a communication. So this is another type of communication which gives you benefit about what exactly the customers or the consumers demand, what is their feedback about the product and what changes they expect. So what are the different new trends, what is the new technology the consumers want, everything you get out of communication. And this is how the customers the feedback or the consumers feedback make any manufacturing unit or any organization to survive and flourish in the market, or at least to sustain in the market, because there is cutthroat competition. Then another one benefit of business communication is that it raises the morale of the team. Morale of the team means sometimes their up and down in the market is part and parcel. Sometimes the share value of a company is going down. Sometimes there is a slack. Sometimes there is recession. Sometimes there are problems like corona and all. So at that time, the people may feel, the people who work in one team, they may feel downhearted, or their morale might be down, they might be discouraged. So in that case, there has to be proper communication from the superiors to the subordinates, so that the superior should convince and make the subordinates aware that superiors are aware about their problems and they will take care of it. If such motivation, such kind of discussion takes place between the superiors and the subordinates or the team member, their morale will be raised, their motivation will be raised, and they will give their 100%. So this is another benefit of business communication. The next one is proper motivation. In order to get the work done from the people or the employees, there has to be proper motivation, maybe external motivation or internal motivation. You must have watched the movie Bahubali, wherein the soldiers of Maheshmati, they were being defeated by the army of Kalke. That time when the Bahubali comes to know and he witnesses that their soldiers are just retreating from the battlefield, he comes, he talks, क्या है मृत्यु, शत्रु को अपनी पीठ दिखाकर भाग जाना है मृत्यु, उस मृत्यु को डिफीट करने जा रहा हूँ, मेरे साथ कौन है. सो दिस इज द मोटिवेशन दैट द लीडर ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर कंपनी हैज टू give to their employees. If that motivation is given, obviously the people will be motivated and they will try to give their 100%. And motivation is needed wherever you are working at the bottom level, or you are maybe working at the top level. You need motivation, maybe intrinsic or extrinsic. Next one is convincing. Sometimes there are new changes that take place in any organization, in any company. Maybe the new technology is launched, maybe the new person might be recruited. So the people should be taken into confidence that new technology, new change would be there, why the particular unit should be closed, and why the new particular unit has to be opened and launched, why new product to be launched. The employees need to be convinced, and once they are convinced, they feel that yes, we are part and parcel of this company, and that's how they try to give their 100% for that company. Remember, any company without their employees does not exist. So they have to be taken into consideration. They need to be convinced about the new changes, and if they are convinced, obviously they agree and they accept the change and behave accordingly, and obviously it really boosts the morale of the whole team, and ultimately that particular organization progresses. Then another very important benefit of business communication is socializing. Socializing means what? If any company is there, there has to be a proper canteen, there has to be a smoke room, there has to be a proper cafeteria wherein the people can assemble and they can talk, they can exchange informal talk. It is about their family, it may be about their friendship, it may be about their issues. They may discuss anything informally. There are no meetings, there are no formalities of meetings and all, there are no mannerism. They can very wholeheartedly open up over there. So there are certain places like cafeteria, maybe smoke room, or maybe a canteen wherein the people can go and talk. Whatever they talk, it is under the roof of that particular company, and that's how the people socialize. And once they socialize, it builds the relationship. And if strong bonding or friendship is there among the employees, obviously they will progress and they will give their 100%. And if they perform properly, in a way, that particular organization performs better. Any organization is nothing but its employees, skilled, unskilled, everyone. And that's why these people should have some social relation also, some good terms, good conditions wherein they can relate with their co-colleagues, where they can relate with their supervisors, their subordinates, as well as superiors. Socializing is possible only because of business communication. The next one is retention of trained employees. See, any organization cannot afford if any employee who has been working for them for maybe 2 years or 3 years and then leaving it abruptly. No, that organization, that company cannot afford it, because they have trained, they have invested money, time into that particular employee, and in order to retain that employee, there has to be a talk. There has to be talk between the employer and employee that yes, after 1 year or 2 years, there would be promotions based on the performance. There would be incentives. Straight away, there has to be a talk. And if the talk takes place, these employees, they do not think to switch to another job or another company, because no company can afford. Every company wants to retain their trained, experienced manpower, skilled, unskilled, both. So in order to retain these, there has to be communication. There should not be any misunderstanding. They should not have any rumor, because gray point communication is always prevailing in any company. And that's why in order to retain the trained people, there has to be a communication on same platform. The next one is the benefit of business communication: less conflicts at workplace. If there are no conflicts, or maybe very less conflicts at workplace, obviously everything will be very smooth. Otherwise, if there are some groups, teams within the teams, there is contradiction of opinion, there is a problem, there are conflicts, there are fights and quarrels, in such chaos, no employee can perform properly, and in a way that organization will go down. And you know, share market is very volatile nowadays. You can understand what is happening with Mr. Adani. So in order to have peace and no conflict, there has to be communication. Whatever misunderstandings are there, they should be cleared, and these misunderstandings are cleared because of communication. And the next one is acceptance of change. New technology is coming up. Right now, the technology is very rapidly revolutionized. every company, whatever outdated machinery, whatever outdated programs, software they might be using, they have to change it. And if there are new softwares, new machinery, new programs, new manufacturing ideas, the employee should be told about, so that they accept the change. They should be told that why it is needed, why the change is needed. If they don't change, what will happen? You must have gone through the examples of Nokia and the many organizations like that camera, Kodak camera. They were outdated, now they are not there in the market. Other companies like Samsung and Realme and rest of them, they have captured the market. So it is very much required that there has to be change, but the employee should accept the change, and in order to make them accept the change, there has to be communication. They should be told why it is needed. So this is how business communication is very much important. Besides this, whatever points that you can recall, you can tell me, you can put in comment that this is the reason why business communication is very much important. I will definitely accept it. I hope the importance of business communication for any organization I have made it clear. Based on my explanation, I can say that yes, it is the building block or the lifeblood of any organization, and you as the students of engineering should understand this. I wish I have made my point clear. Good luck.